the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000.
Hello everyone, we'll be starting the session now. Just allow me to share my screen. Go. I hope my screen is visible to you all, and I thank you everyone for joining today's session, and I welcome you everyone to GSDC Certified Learning Mastering the Art of ISO 42001 Audits, with the theme that is Achieving Excellence in ISO 42001 Audit Strategies for Compliance, Risk Management, and Continuous Improvement. My name is Preetham. I'm going to be a host for this session. If you need any assistance during the session, you can reach out to the chat box and I'll be taking care of it. And I'm very much excited to host our entire webinar series. We have already done with the 2 sessions before, and today we'll be having 3rd session. So please do join us for the remaining session as well. We have scheduled this webinar series from 22nd to 26th September 2025 with the time slot that is 8:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore time, and we'll be having 90 minutes of impactful session, including 15 minutes of Q&A. So please do join us for the remaining session as well. So I'm very proud to inform you all today we'll be having this brilliant speaker, Antonina, and she'll be taking us through the Mastering Audit Planning for ISO 42001 compliance. So before I could hand over the session to her, I would like to introduce our hosting organization. So we known as Global Skill Development Council. We are a globally recognized certification body. We do have 100 plus authorized training partner across the globe. We are accredited by NSI and ABICB. We do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us, and we have certified more than 250,000 professionals worldwide so far. And also we have 500 SMEs. Those are subject matter expert, industry experts. They work with us closely to design our deliverables, and they are affiliates from top universities like Stanford, MIT, And also, we are associated with 1,000 multinational corporates and 500 Fortune companies and 50 plus universities across the globe. And I'm very proud to inform you all that, as I mentioned, that we do have 100 plus authorized training partner with us. We do have partner in Asia, America, Canada, Africa, and many other countries. So would love to thank you, those who have joined us through our training partner channel. If you're looking for any training program for yourself, I'll be sharing the link in the chat box so you can reach out to our training partner to inquire about the same. Also, a special thanks to our official media partner, World Press Hub, for covering all our events and press releases. As I mentioned that we do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us that includes certification on generative AI, agentic AI, generative AI in project management, cybersecurity, risk and compliance, and ISO related certification. So if you're looking for any of this certification in order to enhance or upskill yourself, you can definitely reach out to a learning advisor, or you can explore our website, that is www.gsdcouncil.org, to check all the details information regarding this certification and all offerings that GSDC has for all of you. So what benefits you'll be getting with this certification? So you'll be a GSDC's member for a lifelong. With that, you'll be getting certificate upgrade. And guess what? You'll be having free access to all our events, workshop, boot camps, and you'll be getting free access to all exclusive learning program that we do have for all of you. Also with that, you'll be getting implementation resources, speaker invites, and newsletter. Isn't it great? So do grab this opportunity and do sign up yourself for this amazing certification program. And for any information, you can reach out to our learning advisor. I'll be sharing all the links in the chat box so you can just check it out. So yeah, without any further delay, I would love to tell you all more about our today's speaker, Antonina. She is an experienced leader with over 15 years experience in software development, specializing in regulated medical products, a certified lead auditor in ISO 13485, ISO 19011, and ISO 27001. She brings strong expertise in global regulations, quality management, and AI lifecycle standards, with a proven track record in leading teams, driving innovation, and turning regulatory complexity into clarity. Antonina combines technical depth with practical leadership to deliver compliance and quality. So we are proud to have her today here with us. And dear participants, would like to tell one thing, that Antonina got some urgent work and she's been so kind to us. She has pre-recorded the session and will be playing it for all of you as you have joined for this session. So Antonina is here. Let's give mic to her for a few minutes. Antonina, you can take it over now.
Thank you, Pritam. I just wanted to take a chance and say hi to everyone. Say sorry for not being able to deliver this webinar to you in live mode, but as was already mentioned, it was recorded. So I hope you'll enjoy it. And please, if you have any questions, send those to GSDC, and they will follow up with the questions to me, and I'm happy to answer them offline, and we'll get back with the answers to you. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy the webinar and have a good day. Yeah, and please feel free to connect on LinkedIn. Yeah, so Pritam, please feel free to put on the recording now.
Sure. Thank you very much, Antonina, for your time with us. A few minutes, but still appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dear participants, please do let me know if the slides are visible, the sound is clear.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Antonina Burlachenko, and I work at a company called STAR as a head of regulatory consulting. So me and my team, we support companies with implementing different management systems such as information security, AI management systems, and quality management systems. So therefore, I want to share with you my experience when it comes to ISO 42001 and specifically planning of audits under this standard. So What is our agenda for today? We will discuss in high-level overview of ISO 4201 standard. Then we will look through the audit planning basics. And then we will look at the processes specific to AI as a technology and AI management systems, and we'll discuss how to approach auditing them. And in the end, we will summarize this webinar. Starting with ISO 4201 overview. So this standard was published back in 2023, so it is still fairly new, and it is the first standard which establishes a framework for AI management system. It may be implemented by organizations who either implement and develop their own AI products, or who just use ready AI solutions in their operations and business. It could also apply to any size or type of the organization. So no matter of your domain, if you deal with AI, you might benefit from this standard. Another thing to know about the standard is that it has a harmonized structure, which makes it easy to integrate with other management systems, such as information security management system under ISO 27001, or quality management system under ISO 9001. We will look at the standard structure and discuss it in more details as we go. So overall, what these standards give us, it gives us a framework for controlling our AI system lifecycle and framework for responsible AI like development and use. And the standard, similarly to previously mentioned other standards in management system, has a certification model approach so that you can implement your AI management system compliant with the standard and then get certified by an independent organization to assess the compliance with the standard and have proof of it as a certificate. So there are multiple benefits from implementing this standard. We will not go in much details here, but generally you will benefit from the perspective of your product and having a framework which would allow you to get the same result again and again, high results. And then it will benefit you from the perspective of trust from your end user regulators. It might also give you a competitive edge because now it is still a fairly new standard. It could be a really distinguishing basically asset for your brand and organization to show yourselves as a company which approaches AI responsibly. So just as a reminder, if you want to go and certify for your organization AI management system, similarly to many other ISO certification audits, here we have a 3-year certification cycle. So in the first year, once you implemented the system, you would schedule the initial certification audit, after which you would receive your certificate of compliance with ISO 4201. After that, the next year and a year after that one, you would have 2 years of surveillance audits. So usually surveillance audits have slightly narrower scope. They don't usually, they may omit some aspects of the AI management systems. And usually certification organization would share with you an audit plan for both surveillance audits right after the initial certification audit. And after that, in 3 years from the initial certification, you would have to recertify your management system. So you would have to go through the so-called recertification audit. So in total, your validity of your ISO 4201 certificate would be 3 years, starting from the point of initial certification. So if we speak about this initial certification audit, again, for those of you who have less experience with other management systems, the initial certification audit has 2 stages. It has stage 1 and stage 2. So stage 1 of the certification audit is usually shorter, and it's when your certification organization comes and looks at all your processes which you established and documented in your organization to assess the compliance with the standard. So you don't, for the first stage audit, you do not need the execution records of all the processes. Typically, the only 2 execution records which are required for stage 1 is internal audit. So you should have your internal audit completed under ISO 4201. And you also need to have at least 1 management review to be conducted. So those are 2 records which we need for this initial certification stage 1 audit. And usually it is quite short in time. And then second stage of this initial certification audit is about looking at all your records and documentation to assess how well you implemented the AI management system which you documented. So here auditors would look for the evidence to see that you indeed follow all the processes which you documented in your system. So usually those audits are longer. The duration of the audit will depend on the size of the organization. So your certification organization will use their calculators to tell you what would be the duration of your stage 2 initial certification audit. And once you pass both stage 1 and stage 2, you would be recommended for the certification in case if the audit was successful, and then you would receive your certificate of compliance. So as you see, for the external certification under ISO 4201, you need to conduct internal audit under ISO 4201. And this webinar today will cover aspects of planning of those audits and also different aspects which should be taken into account specifically for AI management system. So as briefly discussed in the beginning, we will start with basics and we will discuss some of the core principles of auditing. So typically when we plan internal audits in the organization, we plan them in a systemic way, and we have to take into account several aspects about the organization to make sure that our audit program is basically reflects the organization size, reflects the maturity of the management system in the organization, that we apply so-called risk-based approach, and we identify any risks related to the AI management in the organization, and then come up with an audit program which will cover those risks as mitigation. We also should take into account potential level of risks of the products which are developed on the AI management system or which are used as AI external AI products which may be used by the system. And then we could also take into account the complexity and different other aspects about the specific organization, which could serve as an input to plan our audit program. Similarly, we would take into account any opportunities which organization would like to maximize or achieve, because that would also allow us to review those processes and make sure that they are effective. Besides that, usually, if it's not your first audit program in the organization, you would use the results of the previous program to plan the programs for the next upcoming periods, like year, for example. I bet you've heard about this deepen cycle or continuous improvement cycle, so-called plan, do, check, act framework. If you have experience working with ISO standards and ISO management systems, you've definitely seen it, because every ISO structure is aligned with this framework: plan, do, check, act. So by this principle, we start with planning something, and then we execute according to our plan, and then we monitor the results on the step of check, and then we learn from our monitoring, and basically we have this close the continuous improvement cycle by acting upon any potential issues or challenges or opportunities to improve the process. And after that, the cycle repeats itself. So it's similar with audit program. We plan the program, we execute it, then we monitor how it was, how it went, if there are any learnings or things which could be improved, and then we act upon that learning and improve the program for the next cycle. So when we look at the audit process itself, again, is not new or very specific to ISO 42001, because it is defined by ISO 19011, which is a state-of-the-art standard describing auditing principles. So when it comes to the audit process, we can roughly split it into the next steps. We start with audit planning, during which we define the audit objectives, criteria, scope, methodology, any risks, and stuff like that. And our webinar today is mostly dedicated to this stage of audit planning. Then we have the audit execution stage, where we gather the objective evidence and move according to our defined plan. And our objective here is to gather all the evidence to be able to achieve the audit result and make a conclusion which is required for this audit. After we executed the audit, we have to summarize, report it, and communicate the audit results with any stakeholders. Those could be auditee themselves, those could be different stakeholders within your organization if it's an internal audit, but it could be also audit customer, basically, if it's for example, a second-party audit. And after that, if there were any non-conformities or issues found, we would have to review and finalize the correction and corrective actions, action plans, and make sure that those are aligned, and all the planning is closed before we close the audit. So when we speak of audit planning, there are some general principles of what should be taken into account when we plan audits. So the first step for each audit, we have to plan our audit objectives. So what is our main objective which we want to achieve by conducting this audit? Sometimes it could be an objective, for example, to conduct a gap assessment to assess how compliant our existing integrated management system with, for example, 4201. In other cases, it could be a supplier audit. An objective is to control a supplier and assess how diligent they are in following a specific defined process. So this audit objective is important to capture, even if it's your internal audit. The next step would be to understand what is the audit scope. So with audit scope, we would have to define which areas of the organization or which processes or which products will fall into scope of our audit. So all of that is also important to define. And here we again may take a risk-based approach, or scope could be also driven by the audit objective. After that, we also define the audit criteria, and again, criteria of the audit will be affected by the objective and scope. Sometimes criteria of our audit could be the ISO 4201 standard in itself, generally, or it could be specific clauses of that standard. It could be also some other regulatory requirements, such as European AI Act, which also has a requirement related to AI management system and processes being defined. So those audit criteria have to be clearly captured in the audit plan as well. After that, we can document audit methods and tools. So how will we conduct the audit? Will it be an online audit? Will it be desktop documentation review? Which tools will you use? Will you use any checklists for conducting that audits? Personally, I am not a great fan of checklists because they cut the corners, and they when we stick only to checklists, we tend to lose the bigger picture and end-to-end look at the processes. So I always prefer auditing using directly the normative source or standard. Besides that, other things which we should take into account when planning the audits for ISO 4201 is any competences of the audit team. So we know which processes in the organization we will audit. We have to make sure that our audit team has competences in terms of the auditing itself, but then sometimes we may also need some technical competences to be able to audit different processes. So sometimes there could be a need to involve some technical experts in the audit. So that's all part of our audit planning. Then different audit-related logistics and communication has to be also planned, especially if it's an on-site audit. You have to travel, you have to organize traveling for your team. In many cases, especially with internal audits, we may conduct them also online. So in that case, logistics and communication are maybe a bit simpler. And finally, you as a lead auditor, when you plan an audit, you have to assess what are potential risks related to this audit and what could prevent us from achieving our audit objectives, and you have to manage those risks. So that is our main goal during the audit planning as well. In order to be able to effectively audit AI management system, you should understand how that AI management system works. So what is the overall framework of the standard? And this slide is basically about that. So If you have experience with other management systems, such as information security management system or quality management system, this picture will be quite recognizable to you because it outlines quite classical structure of management systems. We have our leadership role as a centric basically requirement, and then we have planning and support clauses which allow us to plan different aspects of our AI management system. Then we have operation clause, which is basically execution part, how we do things and achieve results in the organization. And after that, we evaluate, monitor the performance, and measure the results, and use those as an opportunity for improvement. So here you can also see and recognize this plan, do, check, act diamond cycle, which we discussed. And then there is like internal and external context. So there is this organization context, which serves as an input, and you have different stakeholders and their interests, which you should take into account when doing your activities, such as developing AI systems. And then once you place your product on the market, your AI system on the market, you also have to continuously collect the post-market feedback from different actors, such as regulator, users, and then also technical monitoring and deployers of your solutions and other involved stakeholders. So this is like high-level overview of the AI management system. As we briefly discussed in the very beginning, when we discussed the overview of the standard, we said that this standard has a harmonized structure with a couple of other management system standards. So this is the structure itself. If you know ISO 27001, you would recognize all those clauses. We start with the context of the organization, then we go into leadership, planning, support, operation, and then performance evaluation and improvement. So those clauses and requirements, if you have experience with management systems, will be rather there will be nothing much exotic or unexpected for you. What is very special about this is AI management system standard is Annex A and B, because Annex A gives you, which are two clauses of the standard that are basically normative, which means you have to follow their guidance because it's like part of the normative source itself and part of the requirements, as opposed to Annex C and D, which are informative. So they are basically just for your information, but there is no obligation to follow those. So Annex A is a part of the standard which lists for you different control objectives and controls in your AI management system. It could be basically a base for your statement of applicability for compliance with ISO 42001. And we will look at it and how to audit it and how to use it, how to use this really cornerstone document when planning your audits for ISO 42001. Annex B is extremely useful annex because what it has implementation guidance for AI controls. So on one side, it has implementation guidance, but for you as an auditor of AI management system, it could serve also as some kind of guidance on how to audit different parts of AI management systems and different processes in it. So that annex is extremely useful and also informative, not only for implementation of the AI management systems, but also for auditing and planning of those audits. So as we mentioned, Annex A could be used as a base to create your statement of applicability, where you will outline which controls are relevant for your organization. So you would justify which control is relevant or which control is not relevant, and then you would define and map those specific processes established in your organization, which allow you to achieve a specific objective. So as on this slide, we have listed key objectives and controls which come from Annex A of the standard. So you would have to look at the policies related to AI during your audit. You would have to look at the internal organization roles, responsibilities, and accountability, and any concerns reporting framework. You would have to audit the resources for AI systems, AI system impact and risk assessment. You would have to cover and audit AI system lifecycle if that organization does develop their own AI systems, as opposed to just using ready solutions. You would have to also cover during your audit any processes related to data management end-to-end. And then you would have to review the processes related to the providing communication, internal and external, providing information to interested parties, see how organization uses AI systems, and how if they establish any policies related to AI use. And then the last but not least, how organization control any suppliers, how they communicate with customers, or any other third parties involved in the operations. And some organization may have other additional controls, so you would have to also take that into account. But generally, this statement of applicability of the standard is really good starting point because it gives you a good overview of the management system in the organization and how it potentially also integrates with other systems, because you may also have a need to conduct integrated audit for a couple of different ISO standards. So obviously, when you plan AI management system audits, it is important for you to know the requirements of ISO 42001 as such. Besides the audit principles, so like there is definitely a need to go through the standard itself and make sure that you know all the requirements and implementation guidance from the standard. But if you had to take the overall AI management system for ISO 42001 requirements in one slide, that would be this slide. So I try to squeeze here everything, like all the aspects and key processes related to AI management system in the organization, AI objectives. Organization would have to define the context in terms of AI use and all the stakeholders and internal and external context, any obligations, contractual, regulatory requirements, stuff like that. So this organization context, along with policies and objectives and this statement of applicability, are really crucial cornerstone documents, which could be very useful for you when planning successful and effective audits in the organization. So other aspects which are part of the AI management system are resources for AI management system, risk assessment and AI system impact assessment, AI system lifecycle and data management practices, communication with external parties such as users, and also reporting to regulators, and like post-market monitoring of the system. So this is like a high-level overview. So now we will briefly look through clause by clause of the standard and discuss some key things which you should look for when planning your audits. So as part of the leadership, you would expect your leadership to establish AI policy and objectives. When it comes to the AI policy, what you would be looking for, you would be willing to see that the AI policy in the organization is aligned with other organizational goals and objectives, and like business vision and other processes in the organization. You would look at the AI objectives. We will shortly have a look at the specific AI management system objectives and discuss it in more details. You would assess how organization make sure that the leadership specifically make sure that all the resources for AI management systems are available, and how the communication about the importance of the AIMS is happening within the organization. And also what are the processes and how well are those processes followed to ensure that there is a monitoring and assessment of the effectiveness of the AI management system. So for those of you who have experience with other management systems, those things are rather familiar. You are familiar with them because those are core principles of management systems, which are similar for other ISO standards. As mentioned previously, I wanted just to highlight specifically some examples of AI objectives. So those AI objectives come from these standard mentioned here, and some of those are accountability as an overall responsibility framework in the organization. Some objectives may be related to building AI expertise and making sure, for example, that you develop your team and you are competitive from that perspective. Then some objectives may be related to data itself, data quality, availability, because as most likely you've heard, data is a crucial component contributing to the success of AI product. Some objective may be related to managing bias and ensuring fairness of your AI system. And here you may also define specific objectives related to fairness. You may also define objectives related to maintainability because, again, probably you've heard that AI-based products in many cases are a little bit more challenging in the maintenance and monitoring phase because a lot of them, especially in regulated environments such as health tech, require rigorous human oversight and monitoring. And then there are different technical aspects of AI systems where there are potential different drifts. So we have to continuously monitor and reevaluate the systems to make sure that they are still useful and performing as expected. And there are different other objectives such as privacy and security, which could be also overlapping with your information management system, robustness as ability of your system to perform well under unexpected external conditions. And sometimes this robustness requirement comes even from regulators, because if you look at the requirements of European AI Act, it mentions a need to ensure robustness for some types of AI systems. And there could be also objectives related to transparency and explainability of your system. And it could be transparency and explainability to different stakeholders, could be to your users, end users, could be to deployers of your system, or to your internal staff as well. So again, those objectives could be taken into account when planning or auditing your AI management system. What's important to know here when it comes to AI objectives is that sometimes different objectives may be actually contradicting to each other. So, for example, we may have an objective to have a very high performing in terms of accuracy AI system, but then we also may have an objective to have a transparent and explainable solution. And in many cases, if we, in order to achieve higher performance, we would have to select a more complex algorithm, which would automatically result in a less explainable and less transparent algorithm. So that's also an interesting edge to investigate when auditing your AI management systems in different organizations is to probe them a little bit to see how well they balance between those different trade-offs in AI objectives. We go to the next clause, so which is planning. So here, when auditing planning in the organization, you would try to look and try to find some traceability from the previous phases. So how does the organization basically transfer their AI objectives and context into planning stage, and how do they plan their operations, and how they ensure that they take into account the AI policy, and also they assess the impact of their AI systems and take it further into risk management cycle. So that is like here the main approach for planning I see as a tracing it from the previous stage and making sure that the system is real, that it is connected, and it like makes sense because it takes something as an input and take it through a process and generate some output in the end. So here we would look again at the context of the organization, policies, risk management, and AI system impact assessment. We would also want to see any processes related to change planning. And then if we are conducting the stage like audit, we would also be willing to see the records of the change management. So when it comes to AI system impact assessment, just a couple of words here because it's a bit different compared to other systems. So those are some typical things which you would expect to see in the AI system impact assessment. You would for every AI system, especially in some domains such as health tech or some other high-risk AI systems, you would expect the organization to define their AI system impact with potential failures and misuses, description of the system, deployment environment, any data, algorithms, and interested parties. You would expect them to document potential benefits and harms for each involved party, and that is like a first place where we assess the impact of our system, and then this document could serve as an input into risk management. So when auditing the organization, it is an important area to look at and to see how organization approach this AI system impact assessment, if they took into account only harms or did they also consider benefits, and if they considered all of their interested parties and stakeholders. Just as a reminder, this is just a difference between risk management versus AI system impact assessment. So in a nutshell, risk management could be more product or service oriented. AI system impact assessment could be more product or service oriented, while risk management could be also an integral part of the overall organization and all the management system in the organization. When auditing aspects of AI management system related to risks of AI, I just wanted to highlight some of the typical risks related to machine learning. So some of the risks which are specific to machine learning and AI management systems. Potential lack of transparency and explainability of the AI solution. So you may try to poke around and see if the organization took this risk into account. The next one is potential high complexity and uncertainty of the environment in which the system will have to operate. So, for example, if you speak self-driving cars, the environment in which those cars were tested initially is some kind of virtual environment, but then the environment in real world is extremely complex because it has a lot of changing parameters such as light, weather, and different layouts of the overall physical map. So all of that complexity also has to be taken into account during the risk management, especially for sometimes types of the product. Then there are risks related to data quality and the model training itself. So is your data representative? Do you cover all the populations of your specific real world population? When it comes to the model training process, you can try to see how organization manages risk related to overfitting or underfitting. When they deploy the systems to the market, you can just see how they control that the deployment process itself and the environment, production environment is qualified, how they monitor the system after it was deployed to be able to detect any potential drifts in the system after it was placed on the market. So all of those things has to be taken into account and could be also audited for when you conduct those ISO 4201 audits. Another very special risk here, because others are more technical, is the risk of potential automation bias. So this risk is tells us about potential over-reliance of people on automated solutions such as AI. So here it's more of investigation on how the organization informs their users about the fact that they use AI and about the way how they should be controlling the outputs of the system and stuff like that. So this automation bias is an interesting, again, thing to look for on how it is mitigated in a specific organization. The next one clause is clause 7, which is support. So here what we have planning of different kinds of resources, such as data, frameworks, human resources, and many other resources required for AI systems being developed or used. Then we have planning of the competences in the organization to make sure that all our people are competent for fulfilling their duties. How do we build awareness about the management system in the organization and making sure that each person understands how they affect the quality and safety and security and all other aspects and objectives in our organization? How do we manage the communication internally and externally? How do we approach documentation and records management? So all of that is covered. Investigate each of those areas to understand how efficient or not organization is in ensuring all of those processes are successful. So the next one is operations. So here we have execution. We look at how organization follows their implemented plans, how they follow the processes, how they document the processes for AI system development, what are their processes for data management, how they execute on planned changes, what are the criteria for process monitoring, how do they control any external service providers. So all of that could be covered during these as part of this clause auditing. Some of those are typical for other management systems, and we don't have so much time, so I will not stop on those processes. I just wanted to highlight AI system development lifecycle itself because it is more specific to AI and machine learning. So on this slide, you see here AI management system lifecycle on top here. As you see, it starts with inception phase through design and development, verification and validation, deployment, operational monitoring, re-evaluation, and retirement. And then it is mapped on machine learning pipeline. So if your organization trains your own ML models, you would be familiar with this pipeline. And this pipeline, as you see, is mapped to AI system lifecycle. Why I included it here in this webinar for about planning audits is because it is a really good basically source of your guidance on how you could approach auditing the AI system lifecycle processes. So it just gives you some key areas on which aspects has to be looked at during your audit. So you would want to look at where the data comes from, how the organization manages the sources of their data acquisition, how do they manage the quality control of data, what are data preparation steps, does the organization perform any pre-processing activities, any cleansing or imputation of data, normalization or scaling, and stuff like that. So all of those processes are specific small topics which could be explored when auditing AI management systems. The next step is modeling. So here you would be interested in looking at how organization approach feature engineering process to a specific product or solution. How did they select the algorithm? How did they manage different risks related, for example, to overfitting, underfitting? What was the model training process and the final model selection and validation process? The next one is verification and validation. So how did the organization ensure that their product is performs well? How bias was managed throughout all of those processes? How deployment is happening? Is it continuous learning system or locked? How organization is monitoring the performance of that system in production? So all of those questions are really good things to explore when you audit organizations who develop their own AI solutions. And then throughout this AI system lifecycle, you would obviously look for a trace of risk management and governance, for cybersecurity and privacy measures, for transparency and explainability means, and also for robustness, bias management, and safety, and other aspects of quality. So this is like a really good source. Like this standard is a really good reference when it comes to the AI system lifecycle and ML pipeline. And the last two clauses of the standard are about the monitoring, evaluation, and continuous improvement. So here you have different monitoring of different processes and checking different criteria and assessing if the processes are performing well or not. Here you have internal audits. So again, you have to plan your internal audits, conduct them, and it is a requirement of the standard. You have your management reviews, which is, again, if you're familiar with other ISO standards, you know that top management has to conduct regular management reviews where management representative has to report about the state of the management system and different aspects of it. So that process definitely is important to cover if you audit AI MS in the organization. And then continuous improvement process. So any processes related to managing non-conformities, corrective actions has to be covered here. Small note is that this standard does not describe such thing as preventive action, because the assumption is that preventive actions are covered as part of our initial risk assessment on the organizational level. So all of those aspects has to be taken into account when auditing AI management systems in the organization. And just to highlight some key AI specific aspects which you should remember when auditing AI MS. Remember that bias should be managed throughout the AI system lifecycle, so look for traces of bias management on each step of the ML pipeline. Throughout the AIMS, look for the considerations related to ethics, again, bias management, the ethical deployment and use of AI solutions, because that is also required by some of the market regulators. Then pay particular attention to transparency and explainability of AI system, especially if organization develops their own systems, and especially if those systems are to be deployed in some safety critical areas. Look for data management practices, because again, data management is unlike many other processes in AIMS, is a new process which has to be now implemented in the organization and followed. So worth paying attention to it in particular. And then look at any processes related to internal and external communication regarding the AI system use. It could be also elements of the transparency itself, but also reporting, vigilance, stuff like that. And then all the aspects of the monitoring and maintenance. Some of those monitoring and maintenance aspects are typical also for conventional software and other management systems, but with AI specifically, pay particular attention to elements of the monitoring, which are AI specific, such as different kinds of drifts, data drifts, concept drifts, or model drifts, which could happen when your model is in production. So all those areas are important to take into account when you audit AI management systems. And this is just a last slide. Again, this is nothing new. This is a general knowledge coming from ISO 19011. But in order to be able to successfully audit any product or organization, there are different things where you should be competent at to be able to achieve that audit objectives. So first of all, you should understand the principles, processes, and methods of auditing itself. So here, this ISO 19011 comes at hand. Then you should also understand the management system standard or other regulatory source, which is your audit criteria. So if you want to audit for ISO 42001, make sure that you know the standard requirements well and you understand it. That will help you to approach the audit and come up with good questions and achieve better results. Then another thing which is important for a successful audit is understanding the organization context. So if it's your internal audit, it's easier because you know your organization and you are part of that context. For cases where you audit some third-party organization, it's very important for you to get this context into your head, to learn about the organization. And again, ISO 42001 standard luckily requires organization to document their context, internal and external, and that could serve you as a good input into your audit planning. And then you should also know any statutory or regulatory requirements, because many of those ISO standards refer to other requirements such as data privacy, AI regulations, and other regulations. So that is as well an important aspect for you to know as an auditor. So with that said, I want to say thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me on LinkedIn. Yeah, my name is Antonina Brulachenko. You may also contact me via my email. I'm happy to talk to you about any aspects of AI management and compliance. Thank you again, and have a good rest of your day.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening to the whole session. And whoever joined us lately, would like to inform you all this session was pre-recorded session as our speaker got some emergency. Hence, we have played it for all of you. I hope that helps. And if you have any question, please do reach out to Antonina. I've shared her LinkedIn profile link in the chat box. You can check it out and please do reach out to her. So just quickly, let me share my screen. Okay, so before we move forward, would like to inform you all that I do have some announcement regarding the certification, as well as we do have a toolkit for all of you, and this is completely free toolkit. I've just shared all the details of the toolkit in the chat box. You can just go through it once. Give me a minute, please. All right, so I was talking about the toolkit, how it will help. So it will help you with the gap analysis checklist, 100 plus audit questions, book of knowledge, ChatGPT cheat sheet for lead auditors, ready to use template. So I've shared the link. So you'll able to see the link, that is the LinkedIn link, where you can see all this detail and you can access this. Also, you can share it with your network. So please do like, share, comment, and please access that link to check this toolkit. This is very amazing one and it will definitely help you. Do let me know if my screen is visible to you all. So yes, this is regarding the certification and the announcement that I wanted to make, that this certification we are providing regarding the ISO, where you can opt out of any of the certification, which is certified ISO 42001 2023 lead implementer, and another one is lead auditor. So as you all know, these certifications are lifetime validated certification with comes along with the learning resources, where you'll be getting a lot of case studies to work on, e-learnings, book of knowledge, right? Also, these certifications are lifelong learning, which gives you flexibility, learning flexibility, and you'll be getting chance to connect with our training partner channel, and you'll be having opportunity to work on the capstone project. So you can use this promo code, which is audit20, to get an amazing discount, which is 20% off on this certification. I've shared the offer details along with the link in the chat box, so you can just check it out. Also, this is utility tool. You can use this August 100 to access this tool. This tool will help you to improve your LinkedIn profile score, your ISO related score, or your AI skill score. So do check it out. I've shared the link in the chat box. If not, I'll share it in a while. Also, would like to inform you all, tomorrow we'll be having the 4th session of this webinar series with Ritvika Banerjee, and she'll be taking us through the topic that is effective data collection and evaluation in ISO 42001 audit. So please do join us on 25th September 2025, that is tomorrow, with the same time slot, that is 8:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore time. So we are running this AI tool challenge for 28 days. It was scheduled before. However, we are planning to extend it as we have lined up speaker for upcoming sessions. We'll be extending this for next week as well. So please do join us for the remaining sessions. This is started from 18 August onwards, which will happening till 3rd of October. So please do join us. We do have amazing panel of AI expert aligned for this as well. The time slot is the second slot, that is 10:30 a.m. Central and 11:30 p.m. So exact in 1 hour, we'll be starting this another session, which is AI tool. So please do join us for this as well. Also, you can recommend your friend and colleague to our sessions, to knowledgeable and powerful session. By doing that, you can earn rewards that is $400, and you will become a thoughtful leader, of course. Also, you can enhance your credibility, and top 3 winners will be featured on the GSTC Wall of Fame. You can easily access our event page, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll able to find the leaderboard. You can just put your name in the search bar, and you'll be able to see how many points that you have earned by referring people. So you'll able to see your name in the leaderboard also. So please do refer maximum people. We do have these 3 winners who have referred maximum people to our this specific session, and we'll be announcing all the winners at the end of this webinar series, that is on Friday. So you still have a time to refer maximum people. Also, if you want to be a speaker for our upcoming event as a featured global speaker, of course, you can contact us, as we do have platform for you, learning capsules, webinars, and a podcast. And we'd love to connect with you all. You can scan this QR, connect with us over the LinkedIn. You can explore our website, that is www.gsdcouncil.org, to get more information on the certification that I've mentioned earlier. And you can connect with us over the WhatsApp group to get daily update on the event, webinar, podcast that we do conduct, and also the boot camps we do have. So please follow us over the WhatsApp to get daily update. And please do share your reviews on the Trustpilot. That helps a lot. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. I hope to see you all for the remaining session of the ISO as well as AI tool challenge. So thank you everyone. I see you soon. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.